do have a cell phone and earbud policy here at John Hardin. They are not to have those out during instruction. The only time that they are supposed to be out is if a teacher allows that to happen. Now, we live in a cell phone society. I myself am part of the cell phone society, so I understand the importance of being able to communicate with your students. However, during instruction, if it's out, teachers can ask for students to put it away. They can turn it into the office. We don't ever get into a student's phone by any stretch of the imagination. If it were to be taken, it's put in a vault, it's locked away. We ask students to turn it off so that no one can access that phone. And then at the end of the day, on the first offense, the student comes down and picks it up, we give it back to the student, okay? And I always tell the kids, if you need to communicate with somebody during lunch, say for example they have it taken during the first block, and I say if you need to talk to somebody, arrange a ride after school, don't not communicate with home. Come down to the office, I'll let you check your phone during lunch. You can make a phone call from the main phone. We definitely want you to communicate with parents. However, if you violated the classroom rule, we do have to keep it in the office till the end of the day. That's on the first time. Second time, we ask the parent to come pick it up. Third time, we have an in-school detention. Fourth time is a Saturday school. Fifth time is a suspension. We do not want to get to that. No one wants that, okay? We want students to have their cell phones and use them wisely. But if they become a distraction, if they become a barrier to learning, then that's our job to help out there. Dress code, the bane of my existence, I'm not gonna lie, as an assistant principal. At the end of the day, I want your child in class learning. I do not want to take your child out of class because of what they have on, okay? That is never the goal whatsoever. We want to work with you as a family, but we also have a Hardin County Schools dress code policy that we are asked to follow, and we do what we're told. So when it comes to pants, if the pants have holes, the holes cannot be above mid-thigh. If they're yoga pants, leggings, we ask that the bottom and front are covered below the bottom. No sagging, okay? If your pants are sagging, we should not see undergarments, okay? Or shorts that are on underneath sagging pants. We should not be able to see those. That's against the dress code. Scarves, bandanas, hats, head coverings, that's a safety issue. So we ask students to remove those inside the building. No blankets. If it's cold in a classroom, we encourage them to dress in layers. We have lockers. If some classrooms are cold, some are hot, they can utilize the locker for extra layers, jackets, whatever, that kind of thing. That shouldn't be a consistent problem. If temperature's an issue, then tell them to come find me. I'm the building and grounds principal and in charge of all things facility-wise. So if I've got a classroom that's freezing, I probably need to know, so that, or too hot, so I can try to help fix it. Chains, spikes, that's obvious. You know, that can be a danger to other students. No promotion of drugs, alcohol, violence. The full policy is in the student handbook, and if you have any questions, you are welcome to reach out to any of us at any time. You know, if students come in at the beginning of school, I try to show them some grace. All of us, the assistant principals, we try to show you some grace because everybody's learning, especially when you enter high school. So, you know, we'll work with you, but if it becomes a consistent issue, then, you know, we're going to call home. We're going to ask you parents to help us keep this from reoccurring so that it's not a barrier or it's not a distraction. But at the end of the day, like I said, I want your student in class. I do not want to take them out of class. So Focus 40, I don't know if you've heard about our Focus 40 program here at John Hardin. This is something we're really proud of. We love that we're able to offer this to our students. It's an extra 40 minutes that we build into the schedule on Tuesday and Thursday. And the main purpose, when this was created years ago, it was to help students get extra tutoring, remediation, that kind of thing in subjects where they're struggling outside of the classroom. So sometimes if a student is struggling in math, English, science, social studies, whatever it might be, they can get an invitation from that teacher where they're struggling, and they are expected to go to that teacher's classroom and get extra help. If they're absent, if they miss a test or a quiz and they need to make that up, Focus 40 is structured so that we can utilize that time to help make those up. Then we also try to put in, sometimes we have kids who don't need extra help, who aren't missing quizzes and tests. So we put in things like club meetings, we'll have interest meetings periodically for students, we'll have study halls, they can go to the library for research. We're going to start an intramural program this year. That's something new. Coach Wells, Mr. Wells, he is excited about that. That's his baby. He's a former PE coach, head basketball coach, football coach, all the things. And so he wanted us to try an intramural program here for those students who don't need remediation and want something fun to do. So Focus 40, ask your child what they're doing in Focus 40. It should be something constructive, fun, a time that they enjoy, I hope. Okay, so a few other things that pertain to freshmen. I want to make sure I run through. Keys money. I don't know if you all are familiar. How many of you are familiar with Keys money? Kentucky Education Excellence Scholarship? Several of you. Good, good. So basically what that amounts to, when your child starts on August 7th, your child has $500 for their freshman year to lose. They start day one with $500. If they finish the end of the year with all A's, that $500 is going to go into a renewable scholarship for your child so that they can use that in college, trade school, any kind of secondary education within the state of Kentucky. Okay? Now, even if they don't get all A's, as long as they end up the year with at least a 2.5 GPA or better, they will have earned money toward that scholarship that is renewable for up to 8 semesters past high school. Okay, so it's a really good deal. Grades are important for lots of reasons, but if nothing else, pay yourself. Okay, stay on top of your grades, kids, so that you can pay yourself for your good grades once you graduate. I mentioned lockers a minute ago. We do not automatically issue lockers because we moved beyond the textbook generation. Kids aren't issued textbooks anymore. We have those in the classroom if needed, and they just have Chromebooks, and a lot of kids don't want lockers. However, several do. So if you want a locker, all you need to do is come to the office. We will work with you, find a locker in a location here in the building that works best for you, and we will issue lockers. We have plenty to issue. We just don't automatically do that anymore, like maybe some of the parents are familiar with. Progress reports. We send those twice during the grading period, during the 12 weeks. We will always, when we give those to your child, we don't mail them home. We give them to your child. However, we do send a message, either a text, an email, a voicemail. We put it on our social media platforms. Hey, we gave your student their progress, their T1 progress report. It came home with them during their 3rd block class today. Make sure that you talk to them about that when they get home. If you have any questions, let us know. So they will get 2 of those before they get their actual report card at the end of the grading period each trimester. Our doors open at 7:45 in the morning. They do not open before 7:45. We do not have staff to monitor students available before 7:45. So you will drop, if you're a car rider, you're going to drop off in the front parking lot up top. And it's one way in, one way out. It's a loop. You'll come in over on Honors Way and loop around. They'll come down in front of the school. Come on into the building. Like Mr. Wells said, we've got free breakfast. The students will stay in the commons area until 8:10, and then our bell will ring to release them to class at 8:10. They've got 20 minutes to make their way around the building. They can talk to friends. They can go on to class and work on, studying for a test, some homework. They can go to the DECA store and get a snack or a slushie. I think we're going to have a coffee store in the home ec, or well, it's not home ec. I'm showing my age. Our Family and Consumer Science department, they have a coffee shop that they're going to have open in the morning. So there's going to be several things that your students can take advantage of during that time in the morning if they choose to. If not, then they can go on into class. We'll have a warning bell at 8:25 saying, hey, you got 5 minutes to get where you need to be. We have a 1-minute warning bell that'll ring at 8:29. It'll be just a quick 3 little saying, you got 1 minute, you better get moving, get to stepping, and then at 8:30 they're supposed to be in the classroom. Also, another perk to being a John Hardin student, we are the only high school that allows our students into athletic events for free if you have your student ID. So make sure, if you haven't had a chance to do that yet, you'll have a chance when school starts, well before games start. So get that taken care of. We'll work with you if you haven't had it made yet. We can look up an Infinite Campus if we need to, that kind of thing. But definitely get your ID if you would like to get in free to sporting events. Parents, when you all come, and you all are probably familiar with this if you've been in a Kentucky school before, when you come to the front door, we don't just automatically let you in. You have to show your ID at the camera, and then we buzz you into the main office. That's a security feature that all schools are supposed to do. I mentioned where the parent pickup is up at the top parking lot. We can't have any parents driving down where the buses are in the morning or the afternoon because that's a bus loading and unloading zone. And our school resource officers are very patient with families on that, but technically, if it becomes an issue, they can issue citations for that. I've never seen them do that because our parents are so good about working with us and we work with them, but just know during bus loading and unloading not to come down in the main parking lot where the buses and the kids are. One of the things that we have fielded several questions as you all are looking at your schedule. Some of the kids have science, integrated science A and B in the same trimester. That's okay. Don't worry. It's not that you can't be successful in Part B without having had Part A. The content it's different. It has to be covered in integrated science during the year, but it's okay to have both of those simultaneously during the same grading period. Your child's not at a disadvantage if they're scheduled that way, but it can be misleading. Coach Wells talked about the CEP forms, making sure that those get turned in. I think we have an Amazon gift card, a Kohl's gift card. We have a combo of Kroger and Chick-fil-A. We've got a couple of those. We've got some John Hardin hats. There's a basketball. I was wrapping it all up this afternoon. We've got some cool stuff. So make sure if you turn in that CEP form, it's right there by the courtyard, where our courtyard is, behind the frisk table. Put your ticket in the drawing, and we'll draw out for that later. You do not have to be present to win. You just have to have completed your form and put a ticket in the basket. I think that's it. I feel like I've talked really fast and I've covered a lot of information. At this point, honestly, we're just glad to have you here. I know the weather is nasty tonight. Hang around. When we get out of here, the schedules, be patient with us. We'll be handing out schedules right around the corner. Right when you come out of the pack, hang a right, and there are red tables set up there, and we've got them divided out alphabetically. Go meet the teachers after you've had a chance to meet the teachers. Come on back down to the commons. We're going to have the cafeteria lines open. We've been grilling hot dogs. We've got chips, cookies, water for everybody to eat. And then we have all of our clubs and sports set up in the commons area. If you have any questions, again, just find one of us. Find Coach Wells, find myself, Ms. Jones, Ms. Cobb, Mrs. Lewis, or Mr. Lewis, Ms. Vogel. We'll be glad to help you all. Thank you for being here.